jab, box on the outside, catch him coming in, and take it into the late rounds and test him mentally. For Soto, well, he has been on the floor, that being Kielczewski, before. So why not jump on him early, and also before his eyes adjust to the light.
Kielczewski, you want him getting to the late rounds. This is an 8-round scheduled fight between Soto and Kielczewski.
You know, Joe, I'm half joking. I'm really not joking about a silly idea. I know he's trying to be cool and he's trying to catch people's attention with the sunglasses, but your eyes do have to adjust after you take those sunglasses off. He only took them off a minute ago. You're used to the dark. Now you have to adjust to the light and you have punches coming at you. I know I wouldn't want that situation or potential situation for my fighter.
It's a really good point. I'm always intrigued about how many times you'll notice something, the smallest little detail, even just prior to a fight, and have that trainer mentality of how does that possibly impact what's about to happen each and every time. And that's a new one we haven't had before.
I mean, you got these bright lights really close to the ring, so it's going to make it hotter, which could bring conditioning in.
Much closer to the ring than we usually have, too, Teddy. It is sweltering in here under those lights.
Well, they really are. So they're closer to the ring. It could bring conditioning into the mix more than normally with the heat here, where guys could wilt later in the fight. And again, the eyes adjusting to those brighter lights after sunglasses can be difficult. Soto is a southpaw who has a lot of knockouts. We don't know what it means yet because the level of competition that he was knocking out has been low level. And all of his fights have been Puerto Rico. This is his first fight outside of Puerto Rico. Matter of fact, you want to get an idea of the kind of opposition that Soto's been knocking out? Well, his last fight was against a 1-7-2 opponent.
Get off his head. Get off his
and he
head.
has fought 4 opponents who did not have a win when he faced them. Definitely a step up in caliber for Soto tonight. And definitely for Soto, the proposed and supposed puncher, he's dealing with a man moving. Kielczewski understands the reputation of Soto, so he's got the fight plan to keep him off balance, where he can't use that
Keep him up in there.
Legs don't fail me now. I remember Richard Pryor, the late great comedian, used to say that. I think that's what Kielczewski's corner told him.
He's bouncing, he's circling, he's boxing. End of 1 against Soto.
So,
Joe and Teddy with you here in Salem, New Hampshire. Round number 2, Ryan Kielczewski and Miguel Soto, 2 unbeaten junior lightweights who have yet to really be tested in their career. Kielczewski fighting most of his career here in New England against local opposition. Had 144 amateur fights. Soto picking up the pace here in the early going of round 2.
a little fat on those punches, a little width on those punches of Soto. Chance to punch in between for Kielczewski, but also a chance for Soto to land something from Kielczewski. Puts himself on the ropes. Just what the doctor would order for Soto. Inactivity never helps a fighter, whether you're a puncher or you're a boxer. Soto has been inactive. Go back before his last fight, he was off for 1 year. Before that one, also was off 1 year.
This is second fight of 2013. 1 fight in 2012, 1 fight in 2011.
And Soto taking this fight on short notice, somewhere around 8 days.
Southpaw was off balance that time as Kielczewski came out to the left.
I know a lot of people, I hear you, I'm listening. You're already saying, well, if he took it on short notice, Teddy, is he in shape? His weight would suggest the answer yes. Soto 2 pounds less than his last fight. There's a straight punch beating what would have been a round punch from Soto.
New England fighter getting the crowd's attention with that. Soto that time walked in short right hand.
Get up, break, let him go, let him go.
Plan is pretty simple. Fairly solid, looks like, for Kielczewski. Use your legs.
Stop, break.
Keep the guy who's supposed to be the puncher from being set. And also use your longer arms and your quicker hands on the outside before the guy that's supposed to be the puncher gets close. You have to wonder, though, with this heat, with these ring lights, with all that extra movement that Kielczewski's giving, will it wear him out? That's the question.
Now they're scheduled for 8. As it comes to the end of 2, and then we got a 10-round main event with Olusegun Ajosi. His lone loss is to Lucas Matisi, the heavy-handed Matisi, and Cameron Hank Lundy, who's trying to regain some career momentum.
Well, last week, it was very, very hot, and I promised our viewers that the fights would be equally as hot, and we delivered on that. This week, the temperature has not dropped. Still very hot. I'm sorry about that there at home for you people who are sweating it out. But the good news, I think the main event stays warm. Ajosi, as you just said, a guy, first of all, you see it right there, it's a southpaw. That can bring problems. But he's a fighter who only has 1 loss, and that was to one of the best punchers in the business and a pretty good fighter, Lucas Matisi. Against Lundy, well, Lundy, tough guy, just like Ajosi. He's got plenty of heart. He can switch to southpaw, and as he displays right there, he's got quick hands. Matter of fact, he's got the quicker hands in this bout. Should be interesting. Push up that air conditioner notch at home. Grab a cold one like I told you last week. Sit back and enjoy.
And if you can bring one of those air conditioners, Teddy, ringside, we'd appreciate that as well. Lundy's coming off back-to-back decision losses. So he's getting to that time in his career where he could be a little desperate.
Come on, work out. Let him go. Break. Come on, guys, work out.
Round 3 scheduled for Kielczewski's 24th birthday today. July 19, 1989, he was born. Son of a mailman from South Boston, now living in Quincy, Mass. Just a short drive away from right over the border here in Salem, New Hampshire.
Break.
Kielczewski, no power to speak of. 16-0, only 3 knockouts. The opposite of the suggestive record of Soto.
Stop.
But he has experience going around, and that's important. Ready?
David Greenwood, the referee on that break, admonishing Soto.
You know, when you go around,
Almost got caught hard coming in that time, and now trying to do some work on the inside of Soto.
when you know that you can go rounds, well, you know you can count on yourself. When you have seen different styles, experienced different situations, when you're knocking everyone out like Soto, there's still questions, I think, Joe, deep in your mind that are unanswered. What if I don't catch the guy? But you learn things about yourself going around. Kielczewski is depending on that knowledge.
Some swelling has developed above the right eye of Miguel Soto. You can see it right there on the edge of the brow.
I think some of those questions that I just talked about that you have in your mind when you haven't gone rounds, when you've been knocking everyone out, when everyone's been cooperating with you, I think some of those questions are in the mind right now of Soto.
Just caught a right hand from Ryan Kielczewski.
think we might be watching a fighter with a 10-0 record, with 10 knockouts, get exposed tonight. We'll find out.
Right hand to the body from Ryan that time.
Even though Kielczewski's not a puncher, you go to the body, you can hurt a guy. And when you fight a guy who's weak-minded, who's been knocking everyone out, guess what? You don't have to be a puncher.
Soto greatly affected right there.
Face and hurt Soto in the body. Again, I said it in the last round, Joe. Kielczewski not a puncher, but he can be one tonight. I think simply because he's got a completely untested fighter in front of him who's never been in these waters, and Kielczewski's punches are going to affect Soto, who's used to having it his way. And it's not his way right now.
To the tune of 10-0 with 10 knockouts, but Kielczewski is not following the script that Soto has been used to writing here.
No, exactly. And Soto, and this is an ominous fact, I believe, he's been on the floor in his career with a 2-10-2 fighter.
Clean sweep so far
Let his
for the
head
New
go.
England
Come on,
favorite.
work out. Let his head go. Let his arm go. Let his arm go. Work.
Soto doesn't have enough problems. He's a smaller man, featherweight most of his career, while Kielczewski has been a junior lightweight most of his career.
Come on, work out, guys. Work. Let his arm go. Break, break, break. Come on, watch the hold.
Talked about all Soto's fights having been in Puerto Rico, first time outside of Puerto Rico. Most of the fights for Kielczewski right here in the New England area. By the way, Kielczewski has been on the floor in 2 fights.
Twice been knocked down. As you see Soto tying up.
Work out. Come on, guys. Work
Kielczewski
out.
is trying to work with that right hand, able to get in a couple short body shots, and then brings that right hand a little more firmly to the body of Soto.
A lot of fans are going to say, why, Teddy, is Kielczewski not going to the body more? The last round he hurt him in the body. We saw proof of it. There's a reason for it. I agree. It's there for Kielczewski. It's been effective. But to go to the body, you have to get close usually. That means you got to get close to the guy who's supposed to have the power. And I think Kielczewski's being a little thoughtful about that. Trying to let Soto come to him, control the outside. Keep the risk at a minimum.
That right arm worsening on Soto.
Let him go, work out. Let him go, Ryan. So.
If you're from New England, then you know what a 95-degree summer day feels like. Much more than 95. That was the high temperature today. Currently, it's 83 outside here in Salem, New Hampshire. But in this smaller venue, indoors, second floor, without high ceilings and the television lights just over the ring above the fighters, it is 94 degrees inside ringside.
Guess what? Next week we're going to be outdoors.
Sounds like fun.
In Oklahoma. California, I'm sorry. Still hot.
Could use some fresh air right now. These fighters are in there, swinging away. 3 left hands from Kielczewski under those bright lights.
I think if Kielczewski, and pardon the pun here, steps up the heat a little bit, turns the heat up a little bit, Soto disappears on us.
Let him go. Come on.
Just like a puddle evaporates on a hot summer day.
Left hook takes the southpaw back a step. Mouthpiece came out, uppercut came in. Digs in again with an uppercut.
Stop time! You over there.
And now David Greenwood is going to take time to retrieve the mouthpiece.
Rinse it quick, rinse it quick.
The only danger I see here for Kielczewski, he's throwing those uppercuts, just like we talked about in the first fight, dropping it down from a distance when he throws it, exposing himself a little bit, where maybe Soto could step in with something in between before the uppercut actually gets there. You see the confidence of Kielczewski has grown. How do you know that? Well, you can see it for yourself. But you could also see him using his legs a little less, sitting in the pocket a little more. That's confidence.
Digs in with that left hand, and the crowd is urging him on. The birthday boy from Quincy, Mass.
The only thing keeping Soto here, three things. Kielczewski not a true puncher and not a true finisher. He's got the mentality of a boxer, not a puncher, and therefore not a guy who's going to seek and destroy. So he gets you hurt a little bit, he goes back to boxing, the attitude of being careful.
Look at that hematoma swelling, all the way extending beyond the brow of that right eye, going back towards the right ear of Miguel Soto. That's it. Good night. Birthday boy's done it. Ryan Kielczewski from nearby Quincy, Mass. will be celebrating tonight.
Look like a puncher there, but you can look like a puncher when you catch a guy reaching in with a punch he never sees. Nicely timed punch by Kielczewski as Soto reached in.
Happy 24th, Ryan. What a way to celebrate. Unbeaten against unbeaten, national TV, and he ends it with that.
I think you're going to see the perfect setup for this knockout. And at the end of it, you're going to see that Soto never sees the shot. Reaching in a little bit, and the punch timed perfectly. Take another look. Left hook on the tip of the chin. Never saw it coming. Reaching in, wide open, wide punch. And the left hook, the short left hook, catches Soto in the middle of one of those wide shots and never saw that left hook coming and never had time to register in his mind that he's got to set up to take it. Here's real time. Bang.
Hashtag SC Top 10 to nominate Ryan Kielczewski's left hook knockout on Miguel Soto as a Sports Center Top 10 play. Get on Twitter, hashtag SC Top 10.
You got someone coming forward, wide open. His eyes are somewhere else. The punch catches him on the chin. You get those results.
For the official particulars, we send it up to the ring to David.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Dave Greenwood calls a halt to this contest at 2:59 of round number 5. He reaches the count of 10. Your winner by knockout